Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Shadow Alolan Marowak. I've been itching to try out Shadow Alolan ever since it was introduced in its Shadow form. It is quite the lead option in the Great League, as so many people are leading with grass types like Trevenant and steel types like Registeel. Shadow Alolan also has excellent play against the large cuddly walrus known as Walrein, so it will be the lead on this very bulky team, along with Lickitung on the safe swap. Speaking of bulk, there is nothing that quite epitomizes bulk as XL Lickitung in the Great League. It is amazing, especially on the safe swap. Due to its sheer bulk, it is often able to grab a shield advantage or flip switch for you, as well as good old Azumarill in the back to close the game strong. We've got Azu on this team to protect Alolan from the Shadow Claw users like Sableye. It can also close against strong steel types like Bastiodon and Galarian Stunfisk, of course, if you're running Hydro Pump, which I think is key. But without further ado, before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are starting things off with some bonus battles that I thought were tons of fun. Here we go. A very awkward lead in Trevenant here. We are both dealing super effective damage to each other. So what we're going to do is go for the Bone Club. Yes, it is resisted, but we want to chip because it's really the fire spins with that Shadow bonus and stab that are really putting in the work on this Trevenant. This is, we're going to call this as the Seed Bomb, and we are not bothering to build up to the Shadow Bone. Chipping with resisted Bone Clubs in the Shadow form is more than enough. As we see, it takes out the Trevenant. Reading this team, they came in with a Stunfisk. We are reading the classic Trevenant Stunfisk Azumarill team, and that is why we wanted to get rid of the Trevenant so that Azumarill can come in onto the Stunfisk and hopefully take it out. Lickitung can do well against it as well. We do shield up the first Earthquake because we want our opponent to respect the potential Hydro Pump. So going to bait with a Play Rough, and we grab this shield. That is amazing. This trainer has to be concerned about the Hydro Pump. We are reading that there is an Azumarill in the back, so going to let this next Earthquake go through. We can obviously tank that and expecting them to make an aggressive play into their own Azu, and they do. Right on cue. It's Lickitung time. And going to look to play out this Azu matchup with our Lickitung. We are still even on shields. And we are going to tank the Play Rough. We tanked that, no problem, and going to look to get off a Power Whip onto the Azumarill. They can definitely tank this. It does chunk quite a bit with some super effective Grass-type damage. And going to look to go for just a Body Slam. If they tank the Power Whip, you can go straight Body Slam from then on out, because you will outpace, and the Body Slams with Stab do add up on the very tanky Azumarill. Gonna tank this next move here. We do want to keep a shield because our own Azu is very close to KO range of an Earthquake on that Stunfisk. Gonna look to put the opposing Azu out of its misery with another Body Slam. If they want to go down on shields, by all means, but no, they let it go. That is amazing. It's Azu time yet again. We do have loaded energy. I think that they were keeping track of our energy, so we're going to bait with another Play Rough, and we grab that final shield. This trainer absolutely needs to be concerned with a Hydro Pump. That would be game over for them. And because we got that bubble through, we don't even need to bother with the Hydro Pump. A Play Rough resisted plus the bubble damage will be more than enough to just about say bye-bye to the G-Fisk. One bubble does the trick. And Azumarill closes it out for us, brings it home. Azumarill quite the closer with Hydro Pump. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. And guys, Azumarill can be quite the closer if you have it on the right team and you use it the right way, as we saw in that last battle. And here we go, picking up the dream lead in Alolan Ninetales. They make a play into Umbreon, and it is Azu time, guys. Nothing shuts down an Umbreon or any dark type for that matter, quite like Azumarill, provided it's not one of those pesky dark poisons, of course. Gonna go for a Play Rough. That is what you do against Umbreon, of course. They can tank one pretty comfortably, as we saw there. as Umbreon is about as bulky as a Pokemon gets. We, of course, tank everything. We're not shielding anything from this Umbreon. All they can do is go for these last resorts, which don't do a whole lot to Azu, and we are just going to build up to the next play rough and go for it. This, again, will not quite KO, as Umbreon is insanely bulky, but one bubble will do the trick as we say bye-bye to the Umbreon, and they come back in with the Charm Alolan Ninetales. They are going to go for the full aggressive Charm down, and we are just going to chip with a play rough with Stab from our Azumarill. That, of course, doesn't KO, but it does a nice amount of damage to the Charm A9. They're going to go for the full Charm down. That is the play, coming back in with AWAC, of course, and they've got a Swampert in the back. So this is where Lickitung really shines. It's an excellent generalist and can absolutely handle these hard-hitting, spammy Pokemon like Swampert, guys. We're going to call that as a Hydro Cannon, and it was. The fact that they didn't go for Earthquake makes me believe that they are likely running Sludge Wave, and that is okay. Gonna shield up this next move because we want to grab some shields or chip away at the health on this Swampert. It, of course, is a nightmare for our Alolan Marowak, so we kind of have to take this thing out or get it extremely low to where a resisted Fire Spin or two can take it out. And this Swampert is just going straight Hydro Cannon, so we're going to let this go. They are overloading by quite a bit, and we were fully expecting the Charm Snipe as we make a play back into AWAC. They're going to go for a Psyshock, I presume, but we tank that, no problem, and farming down this Charmer all the way down, and we've got loaded energy for this Swampert. Gonna go for the Bone Club. Guys, I'm finding Bone Club on Shadow AWAC does lots more damage than the non-Shadow form, and they are overloading, knowing that they need to grab the shield and take out our remaining Pokemon, which allows us to say bye-bye to the Swampert with a Bone Club. AWAC coming in clutch, closing the game strong, taking out the Swampert. That's gonna be a good game. Well played. Had a blast with Shadow Alolan Marowak. Guys, that Shadow bonus makes all the difference in the world, and we are picking up an awful lead, and Sableye going into Lickitung. That's why we've got Lickitung and Azumarill on this team, mostly for the Sableye leads, and they meet us with a Shadow Nidoqueen. So this is not ideal. A Shadow Nidoqueen, much like Alolan Marowak, can really put out a lot of raw damage with that 20% Shadow bonus. But we're going to just tank the first Poison Fang. That is good practice. Whenever you are up against a Pokemon like Nidoqueen that can debuff you, you always let the first one through, and you can then shield the second one, which will do more damage. Gonna go for another Body Slam. Both Power Whip and Body Slam hit Nidoqueen for neutral damage. Body Slam has Stab and is more energy efficient. So you go Body Slam on Nidoqueen. And gonna go for another one. Speaking of, this would KO if they let it go, but no, they go down on shields to preserve that Nidoqueen. This Nidoqueen is one poison jab off from a potential earth power, so we do have to respect that. That would absolutely one-shot our fire type AWAC, so we do shield at the last minute, calling that. There's no way that they're baiting there. That's a good shield. They do come back in with the Sableye, and we go for the Shadow Bone here. Now, what we should do is they're at 4 Shadow Claws. We should throw one more Fire Spin just in case they wanted to throw that Foul Play, but we kind of panicked and went into our Azumarill as they meet us with a Walrein, non-Shadow, so it's not going to be hitting quite as hard. This is why you run Play Rough on Azumarill. For Walrein and opposing Azumarills, I think Play Rough is a must-have on Azumarill in the Great League, how it is right now. And they do hit us with an Earthquake, and we're going to go for another Play Rough here. This will not KO, but it will be getting the Walrein quite low, and we have to be cognizant of the switch timers here. Switch timers coming up pretty soon after they throw this Earthquake here. We have to be ready for the Snipe, and we are, and there they go. They throw immediately. So we decide to catch that onto our AWAC, but it's not looking good here. This Sableye is not within farm down range, and we are, so it's lights out for us. Pretty close matchup. Good game. Well played to our opponent. had a blast with the bonus battles as we move into the featured set of the video. We are met with an Azu, and we've got the wrong AWAC, guys. This was the first set that we did with this team, and we have the non-Shadow AWAC for this one battle here. But we saw Azu, so we make a play into Lickitung on the safe swap. Gonna go for a Power Whip, and again, they can tank that, but it does a nice amount of super effective damage as they make a play into a Shadow Kanto Ninetales. So this thing has become so popular as of late, especially running the Legacy Fast move of Ember. You do need an Elite Fast TM for Ember. It does a little bit more base damage. And it is a 2-turn move versus the Fire Spin, which does slightly less damage. It's a 3-turn move and generates energy a little faster. But we are playing out this mid-game matchup here, not looking to shield anything. This K9 will farm down, but we've got just the answer for a strong fire type like K9 in its shadow form, in the form of Azumarill, guys. This could be an overheat, but we're water type, and we tank that. No problem, guys, because we are a tanky water type at that as we farm it down. They come back in with their own Azumarill, so we do have the health advantage and the shield advantage on our opponent as they do go for the play rough. And again, guys, I cannot stress this enough. You absolutely want play rough on your own Azumarill. You do not want to be caught up against a Walrein or an opposing Azumarill and not have play rough. And the same goes for those bulky dark types like Mandibuzz and Umbreon, guys. You absolutely need play rough on Azumarill, and that play rough does not KO, and we are able to get to another play rough of our own. If they let this go, this will absolutely KO. And now it is AWAC time, and they've got a Sableye in the back, guys. Having the normal AWAC in this situation, I think actually saved us, guys. We're going for this Bone Club here, and if they let it go, it does a decent amount of neutral damage, but I don't think our Shadow would have withstood the super effective Shadow Claws with Stab from the Sableye, guys, even with the shield advantage. I think it would have really shred right through us, guys. But yeah, one of the situations where the non-Shadow performs a little better there as we close it out with our AWAC. Good game, well played. Oh, I'm telling you guys, with all the steel types in this meta, Shadow AWAC is quite nice to have. And here we go, picking up a positive lead in Shadow Nidoqueen. They make a play into Lickitung, so we stay in a little bit to get some Fire Spin damage on the very tanky Lickitung before making a play into our own Lickitung for the mirror matchup. Gonna go for a Body Slam here on this opposing Lickitung. And because they are ahead on energy, they do have the energy lead because we stayed in a little bit with our AWAC. We are thinking that we may have to go down a shield to preserve alignment, guys. That is important. When you see a Pokemon like Shadow Nidoqueen on the lead, that is bad news if it somehow finds its way to your Azumarill. So have to play this carefully. We are fully aware that we may have to shield because this opposing Licky does have an energy lead on us. We go for another Body Slam. They, of course, tank that. And we were thinking this could have been a Power Whip. That would have been getting us low, so we do shield. But no, they bait with a Body Slam. That is okay. Going to go for another Body Slam of our own and see what this opposing Lickitung wants to do. They do let it go. That is okay. And we know that at this point, we can tank a Power Whip, and our licks, although double resisted, are starting to add up. So we tank that Power Whip, we tank it, and we're thinking we can just about farm down with double resisted licks on the opposing Lickitung. Lickitung is amazing, guys, and they revealed their third, which happens to be a Scrafty, so going to chip with a body Slam, and they will counter down. So they revealed their third. You generally want to shy away from that, but because they did that, we can align our Azumarill onto it. They make a play back into their Shadow Nidoqueen, so we're going to go for these Bone Clubs. Now, because Nidoqueen is a poison type, these will do super effective damage, and with that Shadow bonus, it's a game changer, guys. It actually does a lot more damage to Nidoqueens and other ground types like G-Fisk. Gonna go for another one, and we grab the final shield. That is amazing. They kind of have to keep this Nidoqueen alive because it can do very well against our Azu, and we really wanted to call that, but And we probably should have, in hindsight, and preserved the shield for our Azu. But no, we didn't call it right, so they take us out with an Earth Power. And now, the game is on with our Azu, guys. Azu is the lone Pokemon left on our team. Can Azu bring it home for us, guys? They hit us with a Poison Fang, lowered our defense. We can't take any more of these poison jabs, so we'd say bye-bye to the Nidoqueen with a resisted Play Rough. And now all they have left is that Scrafty, guys. I think Azu may be able to take this, bring this home for us. They get to a Foul Play, and they are not boosted. So we live the resisted Foul Play long enough to get off our Play Rough. I think if they had thrown a pup, that would have done more, but they didn't. So we say bye-bye to the Scrafty with a Play Rough. Azu coming in super clutch, closing it out strong, taking out the Scrafty with a Play Rough. You love to see it. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Oh, that was a fun one, guys. Azu is quite the closer, I'm telling you guys. And here we go, picking up a positive lead in Walrein. Of course, it's not as comfortable as you would like for it to be because Walrein, of course, does have access to Earthquake, which could absolutely one-shot. So we're going to throw a Shadow Bone here. It does not KO, but it does a decent amount of neutral damage to the Walrein. And now the moment of truth, the game of chicken. Do they bait? Do they go for it? They go for it, and they one-shot. Holy smokes. Our opponent is not messing around, guys. They're going for the jugular. They one-shot our Alolan Marowak, so we come in with Lickitung. And we're going to go for the full aggressive farm down on the large cuddly walrus here. Walrein often comes paired with two ghost types in the back. You could see Swampert in the back as well. So that remains to be seen as we say bye-bye to the Walrein with our Lickitung. That Walrein absolutely put in work on our team. Holy smokes. They come in with a Talonflame. So Azu is looking pretty good here. Going to go for Body Slam number 1. They do shield that, and we go for Body Slam number 2. They can definitely tank a Body Slam from Lickitung, and they do. So now we're going to look to catch a potential Flame Charge on the Azu, making the plays. You love to see it, guys. And it is the Flame Charge. That is amazing. So now we are up a shield, and they've got a Swampert in the back in its shadow form. We are up a shield, so we are looking to be in decent shape here. Of course, Swampert does have access to Sludge Wave, and as a shadow, that would do a lot of damage to Azumarill here. And we do grab the last shield with that Play Rough, and I do believe we maybe shield here out of caution, and they bait us with a Hydro Cannon. That is awful. So this is just another Hydro Cannon. We're going to let this go. And no, actually, no, that's an Earthquake. I must have missed a Mud Shot here, but I didn't miss it in the battle, which is most important, guys, because we do successfully shield up the Earthquake. And we get off that Play Rough because they have no shields left as we bubble down. Have to be careful for the Brave Bird here. And we catch. I think that they were spamming that Brave Bird button like there was no tomorrow, as they do go for it, making the plays yet again. Oh my goodness. And this is lights out for them. We can go for the resisted Play Rough, and that will just about do it for the Talonflame as we say bye-bye to the Talonflame. Azu coming in clutch yet again, closing another endgame in dominant fashion. Oh, you love to see it. I know I do. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Had a blast with this team, and it is quite strong, as you saw in that previous battle. Here we go, picking up another Trevenant on the lead. We can stay in here, but they don't want to stay in. They make a play in the Walrein. Not the best answer to a fire type like Alolan Marowak. We're fine to stay right here, guys. We have an amazing answer to Trevenant in the form of Lickitung on our team. So we're going to stay here and play out this Walrein matchup. We did grab a shield from them. That is amazing. Another game of chicken coming in hot. Do they go for it? They do, and they one-shot us again. Holy smokes. These Walreins were insane in these battles, guys. They go right for that Earthquake, but that is okay. We do have a shield advantage, and we can tank an Earthquake from Walrein. No big deal. XL Azu tanks that like a champ. No problem. Gonna overload a little bit and go for a Play Rough here. This Walrein has taken quite a bit of damage, so this does KO the Walrein. And I do presume they come back in with the Trevenant, so we're going to pivot into our Lickitung. They did not throw immediately. That is okay. Lickitung has a very commanding and dominant matchup against Trevenant, even though our fast activating charge move of Body Slam is double resisted. So with Trevenant on Licky, you go for the Power Whips, believe it or not, because that is single resisted versus Body Slam, which is double resisted. So Power Whip is the way to go. These Seed Bombs don't do a whole lot, and we are double resisting this fast move pressure. This is why Lickitung has such a dominant matchup. Of course, we are doing super effective damage with our Licks as well. So we're going to shield up this next Seed Bomb. That Trevenant was trying to put in a lot of work. We were suspecting that they were weak in the back. Not particularly weak, as they do have a Swampert. So we're going to go back into Azu, guys. We loaded up on energy, and this is where Hydro Pump really comes in handy. It does hit for neutral, but it hits for a lot of neutral damage, as that nearly one-shots the Swampert. And now these neutral bubbles are adding up against the Swampert as well. At this point, we are fine to let all this damage go through. We're going to let this Swampert dump all of its energy on our Azu, because our Lickitung can absolutely lick down this Swampert and that Trevenant. Going to preserve the final shield, as the Swampert always seems to have another Hydro Cannon locked and loaded for you. That is just the nature of Swampert. We shield that. They make an aggressive play back in the Trevenant. We lick it down, and we lick down the Swampert, as Lickitung closes the game out for us in dominant fashion. That's going to be a good game. Well played. So if you're looking for a pretty solid team to run in the Great League, this one is quite solid, I must say. For reasons like that, guys, we had a Venusaur on the lead. They make a play into Galarian Stunfisk. So whenever they lead Venusaur and they make a play into a G-Fisk, you've got to be team reading, guys. There's a very, very, very strong possibility that this is Venusaur double steal, which usually runs Bastiodon in the back. So we are keeping that in mind. I have seen it with Pelipper as well. That's the classic variation, Pelipper as well on the team. You could also see Sableye. So could be a number of things, but generally Bastiodon. So I'm going to shield up this next move here. We are even on shields. The Stunfisk is fighting very hard to flip switch advantage, as they absolutely have to. Alolan Marowak is one of the hardest checks to Venusaur in this meta. And I do believe we go down on shields here to preserve our Lickitung. And whoa, they went right for that Earthquake. So now we knew that they could possibly catch, and they do. So we do end up hitting the Power Whip. That is okay. They know the lick counts, so good on them for that, but that is no problem. That's not going to help them, guys. We got an AWAC on our team, which resists everything that this Venusaur could possibly throw. It does still hurt because we are a Shadow, but that is okay. We are going to go for the Shadow Bone, and we do undercharge, but we probably should have no-bubbled that, underestimating how much damage a Shadow Bone would do. We don't get as much farm as we wanted, and we knew that the Stunfisk was at a move, but that is okay. We wanted to leave that with a move because we do win CMP tie. But that is okay. They do take us out. Our Lickitung is still relatively healthy. We're reading that there may be a Bastiodon in the back, so we're going to come back in with Licky here and look to get in as many licks as we can. We knew that we weren't going to quite get to a move, as it does outpace to the Rock Slides. That's okay. It's Azu time yet again, guys. We tank one of whatever the Stunfisk can throw. The important part is that we get enough farm to have a potential Hydro Pump loaded for the potential Bastiodon. But no, it's a Sableye. That's fine too, guys. Azu has a very dominant matchup against Sableye as well with the Play Rough. Doesn't quite KO, but that is okay. They can throw whatever they want. They will not be able to take out our Azumarill. And we are looking to be in good shape here. We take that return, no problem, and they cannot farm down, but we can, guys, and we've got a move locked and loaded. Could have farmed down the Stunfisk, but we go for the resisted Play Rough anyways, because, you know, why not? And they don't want to stick around to get taken out by a Play Rough, as they looks like they force close the app. That's okay. We take the game in the end. Good game, well played to them, and that is the team, my friends. How about it? Shadow Alolan on a very strong team that really supports its weaknesses, most notably Sableye on the lead. That's what we were building around with Azu and Lickitung in the back. Sableye has become quite the lead option these days in the Great League, so you got to have some coverage for that. And we do in the form of Lickitung, which has a dominant matchup against Sableye as well as Azumarill. All the moving parts complement each other beautifully, guys. This is a strong team. I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.